Hello, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Empire of the Full Moon, where I'm going to be talking about and breaking down films from Charles Band's film studios, Empire Pictures, that operated from 1983 to 1988, and Full Moon Features, that picked up in 1988 and continues to operate to this day. The idea is to do short videos where I'll talk about a film or tackle a subject that exists in the universe. Since Empire Pictures started in 1983, and Band is still producing films at an unbelievable clip, even today, there will always be plenty of subject matter to cover. I'll let you know why I decided to do this whole little video in just a little bit. But first of all, I want to talk about how I've been a horror, sci-fi, and fantasy film fan my whole life. But I didn't specifically start to recognize Band's films until I was in high school in the early 90s when I picked up Puppet Master from the local video store. At that time, I was into girls' sports and hanging out with my bros, so it took me a little longer to make the connection between these full moon movies that we were renting and some of the all-time classics that I'd rented in the past, such as Reanimator, Ghoulies, and Dolls, among others. I have to admit that the things that really made these full moon features stand out to me were the Video Zone featurettes tagged onto the end of the tape. I spent many a night in high school renting Subspecies, Puppet Master, The Pit and the Pendulum, and all the other full moon films that we could get our hands on. Back then, to me, this was the golden age of full moon films. That's not to say that anything produced after that wasn't good. I mean that more in the manner that these were my formative years, and these films were ever present during it. You may be asking yourself why I've decided to start up this project. Well, there's a few reasons. Reason number one, there has always been something about these films that I love. Obviously, I'm a horror, sci-fi, fantasy fan, and he's always made films that land squarely in my wheelhouse, and they have a look and feel that make them so special. From early Empire films all the way to today, they're unapologetically horror, exploitation, and fantasy, and I think that's how Charles Band likes it. I think that Richard Band, Charles's brother, has always added such wonderful music that really gave these films a credibility above and beyond most exploitation films. He hasn't made all the soundtracks, but every one he's put together are amazing. The writing of these films seems just so unencumbered. The storylines seem to have no limit of the craziness or imagination. See Head of the Family. But reason number two why I love these films, and why I'm doing this show, is that I love that Charles Band has always found ways to innovate and come up with ideas that make me as a fan want to engage. Even back with the Video Zone featurettes that I mentioned, it made me feel like I was on the inside. There wasn't the internet back then, but even though we didn't have the Charles Band Full Moon Universe / vidcast, etc. videos, where Charles lets us know what's going on, having those video zones still made me feel connected. Full Moon Features was in on the streaming game early. I was one of the first subscribers when it was announced, and it was implemented in 2013. Admittedly, the software was clunky and sometimes it was tough to get through the UI. The fact that there was a headquarters, however, for the Full Moon where we could go watch all those movies were great. They changed it up in 2019, and today the software is much better. Anyhow, on the streaming right now, we get classic movies, new movies, featurettes, extras, even videos by Charles himself. There are a ton of flicks from some of his other labels like Surrender Cinema and Moonbeam. But we also get a bunch of old school exploitation that he's licensed and that just to show on this channel. And I like how this tool is used to open the gates for Full Moon to release super low budget films and the not so super low budget films as well. What a great way to make your work available. This isn't even mentioning their Amazon channel and the mini films that they have on Tubi. The last thing I want to talk about when it comes to innovation was the ill-timed Deadly 10. Basically, this was a great idea. It involved making 10 brand new movies, and the idea was to film these movies back to back. And the special thing about that was they live stream production of the films. I remember being at work live streaming the filming of a movie called Necropolis Legion. It was super fun just to sit in and watch. Unfortunately, it's no longer. The website is still up at deadly10.com. None of the videos are, however. They did make some of these films, like Necropolis Legion, Blade, The Iron Cross, Sorority Babes, and the Slimeball Bolorama 2, Familian Cosmic Crush, and Subspecies 5 Blood Rise. Unfortunately, COVID happened and they weren't able to finish the rest, but that was an awesome idea. Number three, the reason why I want to do this show, number three. I just finished reading Confessions of a Puppet Master, a Hollywood memoir of ghouls, guts, and gonzo filmmaking. I got the hardcover, obviously. November 16th, 2021 is when it came out. Written by Charles Band and Adam Felber. As I've mentioned, I've been a fan of Band's work for a long time. However, reading this book, there was so much I didn't know about what went into bringing these movies to us. Also, I've known that Charles Band was involved at Empire, but I didn't realize that he was the head honcho there. Not sure why I didn't realize that until I read the book, but this did set the record straight in my mind, and there we go. It was a great book. I actually really enjoyed it a lot. It was super interesting, and it's kind of a crazy journey to get where he's at now, ups and downs. And anyway, to be honest with you, I even got a little emotional at the end, and I was bummed when it was over. Even though I've been a fan for over 30 years, I've never met Charles Band. I came close at the 2023 Joe Bob's Jamboree at the West Wind Drive-In in Las Vegas. He was there filming his movie Barbie, and Kendra crashed Joe Bob's Drive-In Jamboree. I was in the bathroom taking a leak, finished up, washed my hands, turned around, and there he was on his phone leaning up against a wall. He looked up at me, I nodded, and he nodded back. I didn't really feel like it was an appropriate time to say hi and start up a conversation. I mean, probably wouldn't have been the most appropriate thing to happen in that drive-in bathroom, but still. But like I said, I'm just going to periodically put out a video talking about a single subject. Most of the episodes I'll be talking about one movie. I won't do them in order because there are definitely eras of Empire and Full Moon. And if somebody doesn't like a particular era, I don't want this person to get burned out for a couple of months or however long it takes me to do it. Anyhow, that's the reason why I'm doing it. If you go and visit empireofthefullmoon.com, you can check out any news that's going on. That's where I'll post all the videos. And also they'll be on YouTube and Rumble. And I really think that's enough for an intro for now. I think what I'll do is actually try to get some guests on the show, and maybe I'll do an intro like this, but then we'll do kind of a Zoom type of a review of the movie or whatever we talk about that episode. But anyways, like I said, visit empireofthemoon.com, corpsecollective.com, and until then, we'll catch you guys later.